Love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home.
I'm drank up and I'm banked up and I'm faded. You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevate it. I'm drank up and I'm danked up and I'm faded. You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevate it,
I came over, I ain't sober, I'm still drunk, that's hangover. Might run it back when this page over. You the best thing I done slaved over. Gon' arch you back and been way over. It's overdue for that understressing. Over him, now you underdressing. Call me up and I come finessing. Like, ooh, we shot it, what it do, what it don't. Baby, you a queen, you can move how you want. You was rocking with me when I couldn't stay afloat. They ain't never saying nothing wavy to a boat. Like, eyes up, look at me, now I'm the captain. Brought the camera, time for action. Split the legs just like a fraction. Tuck the napkin, time for snacking. You a mother meal. Tell me that it's mine, baby, tell me that it's real. Hit it to the max, well, tell me how it feel. It's gonna be a minute, cause I'm in it for the thrill. Make her feel like heaven, she gon' put me in the wheel. And willingly, I wanna do anything she wanna do. I ain't even wanna boo, but this is what the karma do. It's hard to be apart from you, cause ooh, I
love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home.
I'm drank up and I'm danked up and I'm faded. You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevate it. I'm drank up and I'm danked up and I'm faded. You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevate it, you elevate it, you.
Yeah. I'm tongue-tied, twisted around your finger like a piece of string. I'm winded, chasing after your ghost is real exhausting. I'm in love, but I don't think it's what I thought it was supposed to be. Love story, no guts and no glory. How did I get so dizzy thinking of you? I don't usually get like this. It's something about you I miss. Could it be we never had that kiss? Well, I don't usually get like this. 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 Reminded of how I met you, tried to catch you falling. Instead I fell off myself and I just can't stop falling. These wings are gonna flap for me if I keep waiting. Keep waiting, keep waiting, keep waiting, keep waiting. How did I get so dizzy thinking of you? I don't usually get like this. I don't get like it's something about you I miss. Could it be we never had that kiss? I just wanna kiss you. Well, I don't usually get like this. Get like this. Get like this. No, get like this. Get like this. Yeah, get like this. She loves me not. This bouquet is all I got. I'm dreaming, or could it be a future for you and me? She loves me, I know it's true. Or maybe I'm the fool for you. I don't usually get like this. It's something about you I miss. Could it be we never had that kiss? Yeah, I don't usually get like this. Get like this. Oh, get like this. No, get like this. Yeah, get like this. Get like this.
Feel like falling deeper. Cold nights 난 너무 싫어. 기다리기에는 너무 길어. 줬던 내 사랑이 식어. 기대만 하는 것도 난 힘들어. No, I can't, just can't. 가져 내 맘을, 놔줘 내 가슴을 다 바쳐 사랑하기엔 내 자신이 너무 걱정돼. 바보 같은 생각이야. 알아 멍청해. 상상만으로도 좋은 상상만으로도 힘든 이중적인 면을 가지고 있어. 사랑이라는 걸. Oh yeah. Baby, can't you come with me? Can't you hold my hand and 생각이 들어 해볼까 말까 내 다리가 걸어가는 방향이 어딘지 서로 궁금해져 버려 애써 맘 졸여 하늘만 보면서 언제쯤 알게 될까 너도 나와 같은 생각을 하고 있을까 한참을 멍하니 보다 보니 살짝 어두워진 색깔 불그스름한 노을의 때깔 상상만으로도 좋아.
You broke my heart a million times. Can't count the times I made you cry. Oh, it's such a mess now, and we're burning out. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the
Mic
thought
check,
of
1 2.
losing you.
Back.
I'm losing you. You're still perfect.
What up, Thomas?
as the day goes by, even the worst
You got some reading to do today,
ones
Thomas.
they make me smile.
7
I stopped
pages in
the
chapter 9.
world if it would give us time, yeah, to work things out.
6 pages in
to
chapter
work
10.
things out.
Hey, Alicia. I wonder if I'm saying it right. Alicia or Alicia?
To work things out.
Just like my girl, Lakeisha. It's not Lakeisha. It's Lakeisha. I wonder if it's Alicia or Alicia.
To work things out.
Salute. Everybody type salute in the chat.
Can we be honest? You're my comfort zone. Whatever I say.
We're going to read a little bit tonight. What up,
I
Alvin?
know you're angry, babe.
Hooah!
And I am cold.
Alvin's in the house, y'all.
I get so sad at the thought of losing you.
The soldiers are assembling.
I'm losing you.
Prepare to read.
I can't bear the thought
I got 2
of
shows. We got to go fast tonight because I got to be ready by 7 o'clock. I have less than an hour. Hey, there we go. I have less than an hour and a half to read tonight because at 7 p.m. I'm going live with Ask a Black Man Anything. Hope you guys are all subscribed and following the Ask a Black Man Anything YouTube channel. Tonight we are talking about young tenders. What is it about older men dating younger women? Is it manipulation? It's going to be an interesting conversation tonight. I hope you guys that's a call-in show. I hope you guys are going to be ready to call in and have some questions. You know I have a lot to say about that. Eric is in the house. Salute. Hooah! I always make that mean face when I salute. I'll be serious about it. I'm serious about it. I'm serious when I salute. I take military pride seriously. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Looks like everything is switched over. Yesterday I noticed that I had some lag in my audio in the video, and I think that most of the reading of the video was not in sync. If you guys notice, because I have a new system here, if you guys happen to notice any lag in my video and audio sync, let me know in the chat so I can see what I can do to fix that and correct it. I want to make sure that I am in sync with the audio and the video. Appreciate you guys being here. Welcome to another chapter of Rich People Read, where we read a book a month to instruct you in the ways of the successful through the power of reading. We are currently reading the Book of Obsidian, the ladies edition. While my channel has historically been a channel for men, we also talk to the ladies. Everybody needs to get their shit together, right? And this book here is speaking directly to the women, the ladies, Black women in particular. of the 21st century. This is a dating and mating book because this channel, we talk about the two ships, entrepreneurship and relationships. The books that we read each month flip-flop. We talk about money. We talk about relationship. Money, relationship. This month is relationships. We're talking to the ladies through the Book of Obsidian, the ladies edition. We are on chapter 10 and 11 today. Oh, no. We're on chapter 9 and 10. I'm sorry. I was checking out chapter 9. That's why. I mean, chapter 10. We are on chapter 9 and 10 tonight. It's going to be short. It's only 7 pages in chapter 9 and 6 pages in chapter 10. And we'll be done. And then hopefully you guys will meet me over at the Ask a Black Man Anything channel, where we talk about young tenders. Older black men dating younger black women. That's going to be a topic of discussion for this evening. That's at least a hot topic for sure. So hopefully you guys are going to be there with me. Let's go ahead and get ready to read this out. I'm glad you out and listening, Lakeisha. You always support. Lakeisha, did you change your picture again? Look like she's blowing a kiss. Who you kissing, Lakeisha? Lakeisha, who you blowing kisses to? Without further ado, let's jump right into it, you guys. Switch over to our read screen. Test 1, 2. All right. The audio sync is a little bit better than yesterday, although I still feel that it's a small lag. Hopefully it's not bad. Remember, let me know in the chat if there's a lag between the audio and the video. I need to make sure we're in sync. And if I need to do anything in particular to make sure everything is running like it's supposed to. All right, everybody, turn up your volumes, put your earphones in. Put your earphones on, put your earbuds in. Pull out your book, grab your pen so you can highlight the important parts of the book as we begin chapter 9 of the Book of Obsidian, the ladies edition. Why black women can't afford the high price of select fuckboys. Why black women cannot afford the high price of select fuckboys. Silly of me. Y'all know this song. Silly of me to think that I could ever have you for my guy. See, this is the songs that I grew up on. Denise Williams is somebody I grew up on. This song came out in the early 80s. How I Love You. Silly of me to think that you could ever really want me to. How I Love You. You're just a lover out to score. I know that I should be looking for more. What could it be in you I see? What could it be? Y'all don't know nothing about it. I know y'all don't know nothing about that song. I know you guys don't know because I'm the oldest one in the house. And nobody knows about that song. Stop Making a Fool of Me. Denise Williams, she was a singer. Oh, that song came out in 1981 on the studio album My Melody. Let's continue. Following up on the past few columns where we've been examining today's Black American dating and mating landscape through an economic lens, today we will be discussing something that until now no one dared to venture. That of the very high price of so many black women, that the high price that so many black women pay for getting caught up with select fuckboys. Yes, I use the term select fuckboys. I use the term select fuckboys, and I stand by it for a very good, simple, and profound reason. Because the fuckboys so many black women complain about are the very select black men that they lust after in the first place. Lakeisha, am I talking to you? You blowing kisses at me, Lakeisha? That made me lose my train of thought. Where were we, guys? Yes, I use the term select fuckboys, and I stand by it. For very good reason, simple and profound reason, because select fuckboys, the fuckboys so many black women complain about are the select black men that they lust after in the very first place. Now, of course, black women won't be so forthcoming in admitting this sad fact or won't openly acknowledge this ugly truth. But Unlike the select guys, one of the strengths of being a non-select one is that 9 times out of 10, you're smarter than the average bear. You simply use inductive reasoning to ferret out the truth. Number one, black women complain about fuckboys, right? They complain about it. These niggas ain't shit. Number two, fuckboys, they lie, they cheat, they beat and abandon black women routinely. They also shy away from any form of personal responsibility or accountability, completely cool with living off of said black women as if a leech. Number three, the non-select guys, right? The cornballs like me, by definition, don't get the chance to do these things to black women. And even if they did have the opportunity, they're a completely different animal. As black women regularly attest to themselves, being labeled as lame or he's a corny dude. Those select guys, on the other hand, they get many opportunities to be fuckboys and ain't shit to begin with below the pristine veneer of their physical appearance and social verbal presentation / act. And number five, therefore, the select guys are in fact the very fuckboys that black women complain so much about. You see how that works? Definition of a select fuckboy. Now, before we go any further, let's be sure to define exactly what a fuckboy is, because a lot of people probably don't know. Because black Americans have a very nasty habit of morphing the definition of words when and where it suits them to do so. According to the Urban Dictionary, the term fuckboy is defined as follows: a boy who plays with girls' feelings and doesn't really like them and would do or say anything a girl wants to hear to have sex with them or to get something they want. Fuckboys know what girls want to hear, but they hurt so many girls. Once they are a fuckboy, they always will be a fuckboy. If you know a guy is a fuckboy, don't fall for him. Usually fuckboys are cute, so yeah, and you usually can tell if they are a fuckboy by how they dress and act. He is kind of like a player and a hoe, all rolled up in one. Now, although there has been weak attempts towards equal parts denial and shifting of the goalposts on this point of late, it can't be denied that the above description fits the so-called select guy much more than the so-called non-select. After all, and especially within a black American context, select guys have all the motive in the world to be fuckboys. They're tall, generally over 6 feet tall, conspicuously handsome, and have the uncanny knack for telling black women what they want to hear. Only a dullard or an ideologue would fail to make the bleedingly obvious connection between select guys and fuckboys here. Now, a black woman's rare confession. But in case you want more evidence before we go on, consider this little gem of a blog post from a website called Darker Berry. What's up, Heather? I'm glad you're here, love. Thank you. Pull up. We just got started. Here's a black woman's rare confession, Heather. In case you want more evidence on we're talking about fuckboys, Heather. Before we go on, consider this little gem of a blog post from a website called Darker Berry, where the author, a Washington, D.C. based sister, gives a rare accounting of her predilection to fuckboys. My best friend told me this the other day, and I had an epiphany. When I get with my friends, somehow we always end up talking about guys. Despite the amount of guy bashing posts I really don't believe that all guys are trash. Just most of them. Well, okay, just a few. What is in our DNA that makes us attracted to fuckboys, especially when all the signs are there in the very beginning? Sis, you can't run around with SZA yelling, "Why you bother me," when you know you don't want me, when you steadily text him back even when he doesn't respond to you, but has time to snap about an unfulfilling lunch. So he's taking pictures of his food on Instagram, but he don't have time to text you back. Yet you're chasing this dude. And you are willing to respond to his text messages on a whim, on a dime. But he will ignore you until he feels like talking to you or when he's horny and wants some more pussy. How about we change up the script a bit and put more effort into the guy that has the qualities you desire from the very beginning? There's so many people that needs to listen to this podcast today. There's so many women, sidebar real quick. There's so many women that needed to just hear that last paragraph I read. Unfortunately, they're not here. And they probably know they need to be here and don't want to hear it. That's the weirdest part for me. Those qualities being the aforementioned height, leading man looks, and silver tongue, an Essence magazine makes crystal clear. Now here's where the rubber hits the road. I met a nice guy not too long ago. He was polite, texted during my normal hours, and could hold a decent conversation. Naturally, I made up a number of reasons why I couldn't pursue him and friend zoned him. You black women, you're killing me. As I spent time reflecting, I remembered a time when I met a fuckboy who knew just what to say and when to say it to keep me on his line. He was a jerk, but I credited his bad behavior as having a personality and swag. I really hope I'm not the only one who has experienced this. For some reason, I am more attracted at the task of turning a guy that isn't right for me into an upstanding Bay citizen than having my Prince Charming from the very beginning. My obsession with do-it-yourself projects is better spent on Pinterest and at Michael's because my heart can't take it anymore. I can literally have a nice guy who meets all my superficial requirements and still look him over to entertain a dude that wouldn't spit on me if I was on fire. It is far too many women that fits that description. She is by far not alone. Boom. Confession truly is good for the soul, is it not? Now, this post was dated October 9th, 2017. So, has our heroine learned her lesson? Let's find out. My boyfriend left me broke. For the last year of my last relationship, that was my role. We were living together and I was anxious to play that wifey, Susie homemaker, Real Housewife of Temple Hills role. As independent and feminist as I like to appear, deep-rooted in my DNA is an African woman who wants to marry a good guy and play a domestic role. For a couple of months, I felt like I was going down this path. I've heard of crazy stories about how women were taken advantage of financially by the men they were dating, but that just wasn't me. Unlike them, I was smart. And at this point, I had been in a relationship for 6 years. So we were solid. The money problems came out of nowhere. One day, I came home to a cable bill that, unbeknownst to me, hadn't been paid for about 5 months. After a long talk with a tear-eyed boyfriend, I realized that this was my moment. I can step in and be Olivia Pope and save the day, and he would fall more in love with me, and we would live happily ever after. So I had a checking and a savings. Everybody throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Everybody throw your ones up to Black Wolf. He came back. He was our stream chat. He was the stream sponsor yesterday. And now he's back today as the stream sponsor again. Man, get this over here. Let me see. I think he's already up. Black Wolf just says salute. Yep. He's back again at the $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you for supporting the channel continuously. Everybody throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Throw your ones up to Black Wolf for blessing the channel with a $10 super chat. Let's continue the story. So this is a woman talking about her boyfriend. The cable bill wasn't paid for 5 months. She wanted to come in and save the day. She put her cape on and she said, I can make him fall more in love with me because I'm getting ready to fix this. So I had a checking and a savings account. Luckily for me, there was money there, and with every problem, I flew in and saved the day. This became a trend for the both of us. He would default on one of his obligations, and I would swoop in and save the day. I became less focused on why he was messing up and became focused on preparing myself for when he would mess up. Breaking up with him was out of the question. I mean, we were together for 6 years. I wasn't going to throw all that away just so we continue like this. My white hat has become rusty. One save after another, I found myself in financial crisis. I had borrowed money from family, opened up a credit card and stared astonished at my now empty savings account. With every conversation about money, I was fed lie after lie until I felt myself reach rock bottom. Was this my life? Was I really going to stay in a relationship with someone who consistently neglected their responsibilities? Yep, I still wasn't going nowhere. I was living in a twilight zone where I wasn't okay with anything that was happening, but I was somehow operating on autopilot. One thing led to a whole lot, actually. Another. Then I found myself packing my bags and moving in with my mother. And there I was, this woman, in more debt than I could bear, depressed and still confused about how I got here. The irony of it all was that there were several times where I tried to reach out to him in hopes that we could get back together. She wanted to get back with the dude. I didn't want those 7 years to just be for nothing. My road to healing was going to be long because there was a lot to be unpacked here. Now, this was dated December 7th, 2018, more than a year after the aforementioned post. What a difference a year makes, right? Do I really need to recount the many ways this young lady's predilection for select fuckboys doomed her to financial purgatory? Nah, you know what? I'm just going to let her words stand on their own for your consideration and review, gentlemen. They truly do speak for themselves, do they not? The real reason why so many black women are broke is because select fuckboys are expensive. While it's certainly true that the average single black woman net worth is $5, while it's true that the average single black woman's net worth is $5, carries the most student loan debt of anyone in the nation at somewhere north of $30,000 on average, and spends ridiculous amounts of money on things such as hair weaves, red bottoms. The fact remains that a major reason why so many black women are broke is due to their involvement with select fuckboys, as Miss Darker Berry aptly demonstrates above. The main reason, I think, why this hidden dimension of the rank and file black women's sorry fiscal state of affairs hasn't been discussed is because of who's been driving the conversation bearing on dating and mating matters in contemporary black America. Black women and select fuckboys themselves. Only until very recently have so-called non-select guys had the ability to be heard in our own voices and to bring our unique gifts and skill sets to bear on these matters, sans the permission or approval of said select fuckboy and the black women who loved them. But it's true, you guys. Select fuckboys are very expensive, as so many black women eventually find out. Of course, by then, the damage is already done, and it's often too late to recover from it. As we saw in the above vignette, the financial costs imposed onto black women by select fuckboys can be downright ruinous, to the point of personal bankruptcy, and beyond. Let's consider some of these costs, shall we? Ladies, I want you guys to pay attention, and there's two things I want you to consider. One, before we do that, Yolanda's back. Good evening, Yolanda. Everybody throw your ones up to Yolanda.
Being number one isn't easy.
Yolanda came by and she's dropping some love. She just said, look, Shan, I'm going to just put 10 on it. I'm just stopping by to show my love and support. Thank you so much. Yolanda, she shared our post last night. And now she's back and she's hit us with a blessing. She's blessed us with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Yolanda, for your support and continued investment in this channel. Your super chats And everybody's super chat is the reason why I'm able to just pull up and make this happen. It's the reason why I got this equipment. It's the reason why I got, this stuff, so I can give you guys some decent production quality and be able to read to you loud and clearly without a whack setup and give you something worth watching. Thank you so much, Yolanda. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. So let's go through some of the things that cost black women when you guys date these Pookie and Ray Rays. When you guys date these select fuckboys, and there's two things I want you ladies to consider. One, consider the last time you dated a guy, and when we read this list off, does anything remind you of that relationship that you had with him? And two, I want you to think about the guy you're messing with now, the guy you're fucking today, the guy that you're in love with today, but you're in an entanglement. You're in a situationship. Right? Does any of the things that we're getting ready to read off right now remind you of your current situation? Number one, non-disclosure of select fuckboy's fiscal situation. Oh, he don't tell you how much money he got or where he at with his money. Of course, because of so many black women are hot in the pants and going gaga over the prospect of getting bedded down by said select fuckboy, they never bother to check up on the guy's financials. Not that said select fuckboy was going to be forthcoming about his financial status anyway, right? He wasn't going to tell you the truth. But why would that be important? Because, and again, as we saw above, most black women get digmatized and want to change said select fuckboy from a good long time to a long time. She want to change him from a good time to a long time. But in order to do that, well, the latter requires money. Which is something most select fuckboys tend to not have much of, if any at all. And why should they? After all, they want for nothing insofar as black women are concerned. It is not at all unusual for such guys to be outright taken care of by black women for at least a time, and cuffing season is upon us as we speak. You ladies did you see the post that I put on my Instagram story? If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, you ain't want to follow me. I put up some interesting shit. Did you guys see the post I put up on Instagram the other day of the guy that was like, I'm down and out? And then the next picture, he was showing his feet in a destitute apartment. And then the next clip was him sitting on the floor again with in the same position, showing his feet. But it had a sister over there cooking and cleaning in the kitchen. And he was like, thank God. She was a little overweight. Did y'all see that post? You women, you tend to take care of men, grown men, that has no business being taken care of. Number two is cheating. I want you to reflect. Think back on your past relationships. Think about the one that you're in now. Select fuckboys are notorious cheaters. Don't take my word for it. Just listen with a discerning ear to black women's laments themselves. And cheating costs money, ladies and gentlemen, but ladies particularly. Somebody's paying for it, and usually it's the long-suffering black woman, wife, or girlfriend. Select fuckboys often use black women's cell phones. He uses their cars and other items which to facilitate their cheating ways. You guys all seen the movie Baby Boy. Then there's the medical cost associated with the STD treatments. And of course, if said select fuckboy happens to make another black woman pregnant, as is often the case, there can be additional costs incurred by the first black woman. That's right, fellas. There are black women out there paying for the love child her select fuckboy guy created while cheating on herself. Hard to believe, I know, but stranger things have happened. Number three, think about this in your past relationship or your current one. Trying to save a lost cause. You're trying to save, you have a propensity to always fuck with guys, try to save a bird with a broken wing. Because select fuckboys have black women falling out of the sky on them constantly, they never have to develop other aspects of themselves like honesty, courage, or ambition. They don't have to do that. Why do you need to be honest when you got a whole bunch of people oodling and googling after you? And once they pass a certain age, say mid-30 or so, they tend to be this way for the rest of their life. But because so many black women are hopelessly attracted to such losers and bums, they find themselves joined to the hip with these guys well past the one night fling, date, and are thus forced to make the best of it. It is at this point that many black women find themselves attempting to save or change said select fuckboys, often supporting his many failed attempts at opening a business. Remember, he wants to start his business. He wants to start his clothing line. He wants to start his clothing line. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Or he's going to school and so forth. Only after many tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars has been thrown down a rat hole do some of these silly broads finally get a clue and get out. Some black women even think they can buy such a select fuckboy, erroneously thinking that if men can be as sugar daddies, why can't they be sugar mamas? That's what some of y'all women think. The problem with that idea is the former is more natural fit for men, while the latter is something rarely enjoyable by women regardless of her age. And over time, they will come to resent such an arrangement. For all these reasons and more, coupled with my extensive personal research and study of this phenomenon, I posit that most black women risk losing on average somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000 on dealing with select fuckboys in various guises. Think about that cost for a moment. I am not joking. And consider this piss poor fiscal situation so many black women are in today. Want to know how and why so many of them are so deep in the red? Well, now you know. The value add of the non-select guy. Here's the value of being with a non-select guy like Shannon. On the other hand, most non-select guys have their fiscal house in order. Their money is okay. They tend to carry minimal debt, watch their spending, and are ambitious, industrious, and honest. Partnering with so-called non-select guys tends to be much better for a black woman's purse, if only because she isn't constantly dipping into it every time she turns around, like Erykah Badu mentioned in her classic song, Tyrone. You better call Tyrone. Y'all know this song. In fact, black women united with so-called non-select guys are rarely heard on social media or elsewhere throughout the black vagina vision media bemoaning dusty black men. Another euphemism for select fuckboys, because they're usually well taken care of. None of this should come as any great shock or surprise. After all, who do these black women, battered, bruised, and broke, finally turn to when their select fuckboy dreams come crashing down to earth? In short, non-select guys are a distinct, documented empirical value add to any black woman, something we all know to be true, but have to keep silent about due to the ridiculous bizarro-like nature of contemporary black America. And it is for this reason that yours truly is such an unabashed advocate for so-called non-select guys, because the facts, numbers, and time are on our side. So the next time you hear a black woman whining about a dusty fuckboy, be rest assured that she was got by one and now has no one but herself to blame. I told you guys I'm on the Ask a Black Man Anything podcast tonight. You're going to hear me say something very similar to that when we play you the video clip. Make sure you guys are tuned in. The show starts at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, as soon as I'm done with this. You, on the other hand, my non-select brothers, can simply smile as your bank account balance, investments, and business concerns continue to grow and flourish. It couldn't happen to a better group of harpies. And that, my friends, is chapter 9. Ladies, Pookie costs money, whether you know it or not. He uses up all your bank account money. He eats all your snacks. If you have children, he eats all the kids' snacks. You know he does. He eats all the Pop-Tarts, all the granola bars. He eats up the kids' cereal. He drinks up all their juice. You know what I'm talking about. Ladies, select fuckboys are expensive because He's wearing the brakes down in your Honda Accord. He is wearing out the alternator in your Nissan Altima. Your air conditioning ain't working. Your seats are getting ripped. The windows ain't rolling up no more. And now the check engine light is on and the tires are bald because your select fuckboy boyfriend that you love to get dick down by is out there bending corners in your car. And when your paycheck comes, he needs to hold a little something. All while you ignored the guy that you really should have been with. Because for whatever the phenomenon is about Black America, Black women are attracted to ain't shit niggas. It is mind boggling. And that's fine as long as you're willing to pay the cost, ladies, because that's exactly what you're going to do. Let's continue, guys. We're on chapter 10, and then we'll be wrapped up. This is even shorter than the last chapter I just read, and then we'll be done. 6 pages only, and we are talking about gentlemen should pay for everything, and here's why. You know I don't believe in 50-50. Sharon is here. Hey, Sharon, picking up other chicks. Exactly, Sharon. Let me know, you guys, if my audio is out of sync. If I'm in sync, you don't have to say anything. But if my audio, if I'm speaking and it's not matching the audio, let me know because I'm doing some tests over here with new equipment. I don't believe in 50-50. Everybody knows that. I vehemently disagree with 50-50. I believe that men need to pay the cost to be the boss. Pay for everything. All the bills. 100. All the bills, just put it in my name. Or it doesn't matter whose name it is. Give me the stub so I can send the check. So I can have the automatic pay come out of my account. In fact, all the bills are going to be paid in advance. So when we get them, they're going to be like, a credit balance. All my bills are going to have a credit balance in my household with my woman. And she don't pay no bill. I don't care if she works. But she's not paying no bills. She's not paying for no dinner. She's not putting no gas in her car. She's not even paying for the car wash. She's not paying for anything. I don't believe in and I didn't grow up that way. My father took care of everything. My mother insisted on paying, I think, the gas bill. And he was like, all right, I think the gas, she was making good money. But my father covered it all, including the groceries. And my mother knew how to be a wife. My mom knew how to be a wife, which is the flip side of taking care of everything. You see, my father had a program, as we say it, right? That's what we talk. That's the term we use in the mating and dating streets. You have to have a program. You have to have a vision. Well, my father had one, and I have one. This is Rawls Enterprises, and any woman that I'm with comes up under the Rawls Enterprises banner, but she ain't coming up under here stressed out. Ain't no woman of mine coming up under here stressed out, figuring out what the fuck is going on. Is their car insurance getting paid? No, we ain't worrying about all that. But I do need her to handle the business of the family as dictated by yours truly. And if you have a job, whatever you're doing is going to have to benefit our purpose and my vision. It's just how it is. So with that said, let's read on to chapter 10 in the Book of Obsidian, the ladies edition, where chapter 10 talks about, yes, gentlemen should pay for everything. And here's why. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. Got to have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. That was Gwen Guthrie, American singer, songwriter, and pianist from Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent, the lead single from her 1986 studio album, Good to Go Lover. Hey, Miss Jill, how are you? I'm glad you caught me live, Miss Jill. We're knocking out we're knocking out chapter 10. We just finished chapter 9, Jill. We're going to knock out chapter 10 right now, and then I'm going to let everybody go. We're reading again tomorrow. We're reading chapter 11 and 12 tomorrow. All right, here we go. Studies have both shown us that the single biggest cause of breakups and divorces in America today is financial, while on the other hand indicated that generous men tend to also be the most successful in terms of dating and mating. In a Black American social context where the Black marital rate is at an all-time low and just simple daily interactions between the sexes is a bitter conflict, the latter statement is sure to raise the hackles of Black men. while at the same time bringing black women to their feet in grand approval. Either way, money matters remain perhaps the singular battleground between the sexes in Black America today. And no discussion on dating and mating is complete without at least a few words being devoted to this topic. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Black women want black men to pay for everything, period. Black women want black men to pay for everything, period. Black women want black men to pay for everything, period. As of May 2020, thank you, Miss Jill. As of May 2020 comes to a close, because this is when he was writing this book, I feel the need to share two major lessons I have learned when it comes to cutting through the Gordian knot that Black love has become in our time today. The first lesson came in the form of a hit reality TV show, Marriage at First Sight, which airs on the female-friendly Lifetime channel and is currently in its 11th season. A good friend of mine recently sent me to the 8th season of the show that he recorded, which aired in January of just last year, and which featured 8 couples from my hometown of Philadelphia. One of those couples was Will. That was his name, William. He was a 37-year-old financial analyst, and Jasmine, she was a 30-year-old assistant director. Right from the start, a major sticking point in their nascent marriage was the question of who leads, who's in charge, who's the boss of this relationship, gender roles and expectations and finances. You see, Will wanted to give up his very lucrative job in finance to coach Division I NCAA basketball and mentor the youth. He eschewed traditional gender roles and expectations, especially on the Black male side, right? On the other hand, Jasmine wanted a more traditional Black man husband, protector and provider, full stop. Things only got worse on this front between them, while Jasmine decided to give in and try to fit more into the kind of 50-50 thing that Will wanted, right? And in the end, it didn't work, you guys. They got divorced soon after getting married and jumping the broom. My friend and fellow Black social media personality, St. Kevin Samuels, a professional image consultant, has been hosting some excellent live streams on his YouTube channel this month. Many of them center on Black love topics, with one in particular asking Black women what they were willing to do to get a high-performing Black husband. Kevin Samuels talked to many Black women from all over the country over the course of several live shows, and what became very clear to me by the end of all is that Black women expect Black men to pay for everything in a marriage. The upkeep and maintenance of a home, as well as that of the wife and kids with all the trimmings. This is irrespective as to a Black woman's own educational attainment, professional and career accomplishments, and how much she may make. In the minds of many Black women, her money is just that, her money, to do with as she sees fit. And the same applies to dating and courting as well. Simply put, Black women are suddenly transported back into the 1950s and beyond and have morphed into Sandra Day in blackface. They want a traditional Black man who will do all the things a man is supposed to do. Plan and pay for a proper date. Black women want men to pay for a proper date, by which it is meant an at least mid-tier restaurant, read 3 out of 5 Michelin stars, with all the trimmings, a wine list, several course meal, including dessert, and a night out on the town, entailing some kind of interesting fun activities. He has to plan that. He has to pay for all of it. This also includes bearing the brunt of attempting to chat up the ladies to begin with, braving all the bullshit men today have to endure and go through with black women in order to finally meet what they hope is the one. Hold on one second. There we go. Again, a black woman's own financial standing, etc., is considered not only irrelevant. The money that she makes, her paycheck, black women, your paychecks out there, is not only irrelevant, but downright rude and in poor taste. What matters is what a black man brings to the table, and his ability to show and prove in this way is seen by most black women today as a test of his mettle. At the risk of offending the brothers in my dojo, I'm going to say that the ladies do have a point here. After all, and especially when it comes to marriage, the expectation of black women is that they will have children. An affair that even in today's time is vastly advanced through medical science and often does take a toll on her body, black moms to be. And then there's the matter of being able to take care of those kids in a way that a modern 21st century world would recognize. It may be an archaic and imperfect proxy for how black men may fare in the role of husband and father, but until a better one comes along, the old-fashioned courting ritual of taking her out with no expectations on your part is the best thing most black women in the marriage market have. Okay, so what about the dating market? Because we were just talking about marriage, but some of you guys aren't married yet. So what about the dating market, Obsidian? Many of you may ask a very fair question, especially in light of the fact that dating, such as it is all but dead in Black America today, in our time of Netflix and chill, right? I know what you're thinking, so let's get right to it. We know for certain that all black men aren't all black men aren't being put through the courting gauntlet before they get to have sex with a lot of the women today. And there's simply no use in any of them trying to deny it. Sure, I can buy that there's some cloistered group of black women somewhere with chastity belts on, right? But for the vast majority of the marriageable age black women, and quite a few who are past it, they're having quite a bit of sex. If all the indications are anything to go by. And we know which kind of guys they're having that supposedly no strings attached sex with. Now, don't we? The select fuckboys. So why should any guy, and let's be brutally frank about it, the non-select guys, the average Joe, take such a deal, especially when things like dinner whoring are like a plague on the land? You'll get no argument from me that this is a tough nut to crack in our time today. So I see little use in attempting to make that sale. All I can say is that it's up to every man, and in this case, non-select guys, to do his own research and come to his own conclusions as to whether it's worth it to pay the freight for a night out on the town with a lady. What I will say, though, is this. Should you choose to attempt this mission, the expectation is that you will be paying for everything, fellas. You will be paying for everything. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. While I'm all too familiar with the points and counterpoints along those lines, I see little point in regurgitating them now. After all, there are dating coaches out there that are much better than me at articulating all the many ways that black women can take you for BAD out in these streets. And again, I wouldn't disagree. I wonder what BAD stands for. That being said, however, what I think isn't discussed anywhere near enough is what we're talking about right now. The financial expectation that most black women have of black men out on the mating market. Now, to be sure, you are not, I repeat, NOT, not obligated to get into said market. In fact, my view is that if you hold a dim view of black women in general, if you think of dating and mating life in terms of kill or be killed, trick, lick, and the like comes to mind when you think of dating, then by all means, do us a favor and stay out of the dating game, bro. Black love is jacked up enough as it is. It doesn't need your help in making matters much worse. For those of you who still consider yourselves gentlemen, though, for those of you who still consider yourselves gentlemen and would like to enjoy feminine companionship for a night or a lifetime, here's the deal. First, marriage. As noted above, Black women hold the view, whether expressed or implied, that you, as the Black hubby, are to work until you are dead. In fact, if you're lucky, you will die on the job. You are expected to pay for everything: the home, the cars, the wife, and the kids. With all the spinning rims, Black women looking to be wives do not want to have to pay for anything, period. They see their contribution first and foremost of bringing your legacy into this world, your children, caring for and nurturing them into adulthood, being sexually available to you on demand, and seeing to your all-around upkeep, cooking meals, cleaning house, etc. When many Black men today ask, what do you, Black women, bring to the table? The aforementioned is their response, be it spoken or otherwise. Hey, what up, Snuggles? In addition to the expectation on the part of Black women seeking to be wives that you will work until you die, after your body is in the ground, you are further, even after you dead and buried, you are further expected to care for your wife and kids in the form of wills, estates, probate, and any kinds of pensions you may have built up in life. Just because you're gone doesn't mean that your widow and the kids no longer need caring for. Black women wanting to be wives expect their hubbies to continue caring for her from beyond the grave. Next, for those of us who are not going to marry, right? Because everybody's not getting married. You're still very likely to want to spend time with the ladies. If you're a Black man and looking to date Black women, understand that they expect you to pay for everything, brothers. Period. You are to plan the date and pay for it. And you must not choose anything that even smacks of being cheap. Rail against it if you like, but it won't change anything. Don't like it, then don't date. There's no point in attempting to debate this, fellas, in case you haven't already observed or figured it out by now. Black women are an extraordinarily stubborn lot. They want what they want and ain't going to change anytime soon. The good thing about bringing your checkbook, let's talk about that. Among the growing cadre of dating coaches for Black men, it is considered a sign of fundamental weakness if a Black man must bring his checkbook when it comes to dating the ladies. In this dojo, however, we take completely opposing view. Wait, let me state it again. Among the growing cadre of dating coaches for Black men, it is considered a sign of fundamental weakness if a Black man must bring his checkbook, quote unquote, when it comes to dating the ladies. But in this dojo, however, we take the completely opposing view. Far from being some kind of inherent flaw in Black man's game, we see it as an essential after all. We see it as essential. After all, a gentleman does have a social life, and a social life ain't free. Nor does it come cheap. While many in the Black dating coaches for men community view a Black man having no qualms about paying the full price for an evening out as being a lick, we see it as a powerful way of separating us from them. The guy who actually have something to offer versus those who think they can get by in life by having a strong mouthpiece. But perhaps the best thing about taking the position that we do on these matters is that we are also in much stronger position to set the terms, as I explained earlier to you guys, right? Sidebar. Black men like the aforementioned, or in many deep and profound ways like Will from the TV show, mentioned earlier, the 50-50 types are much worse. Women the world over, and this especially includes Black women today, simply have no respect for a man who either can't or won't pay his way. Such men have no leverage in the mating dance. They depend on the kindness of strangers at best and beg for what they want at worst. As one of the gentlemen of Obsidian, you, my friend, are in the driver's seat when you pay the full freight. For starters, you get to pick the ladies you want to be out and about with. You get to set the terms of engagement. As well, you're able to make plain what you expect in a woman and what you will and will not put up with. Because so relatively few black men today take this view, it alone will make you stand out. And what's even better, it will put a lot of black women on their back foot. Now, the ball is in their court as to whether they truly want to show up for a man who's got his act together. Remember, being a non-select guy doesn't have to be a death sentence, brothers, because you have 100% control over what you earn in this life. And finally, as noted earlier, the scientific evidence bears out the fact that not only are men more successful in mating when they are generous with women, but males throughout the animal kingdom see more mating success when they're generous with the female of their species. In other words, my brothers, being cheap, universally unattractive to females of all species worldwide. So, contrary to popular opinion and the stuff of urban legend, if you want to strengthen your chances of success out in these dating and mating streets, the first thing you want to do is bring your checkbook. It is not a crime for black women to want to be taken out for a nice time, fellas. Show her how an Obsidian gets it done. And that, my friends, is a wrap. We are done. We are done for the day. That is chapters, what was that? Let's see, 9 and 10. Tomorrow we do a chapter 11 and chapter 12. Wow, super short. Only 3 pages and 6 pages. Hold on. Cool. You can close that out. I'm glad you guys are here. Let's do a giveaway and I'm gonna let you go because I gotta go prep for my other live that I'm doing in 30 minutes at 7 o'clock. Please, everybody, go follow Ask a Black Man Anything. Just go to YouTube, in the search, type Ask a Black Man Anything, and you'll see my little logo pop up. We'll be going live there in 30 minutes. So I want you guys to show up for that. Thank you so much for pulling up and being here. I appreciate you guys. My name is Mr. Shannon. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video on your YouTube page, on your Facebook page. Let's close the entries for the contest, and then let's do our giveaway. Heather Woods is the winner for tonight. Heather, follow the instructions in the chat, and then you are good to go. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tapping in with us. Please tune in to the next chapter of Rich People Read, which is tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in the morning. Remember, reading is the way to expand your mind and your bank account. My name is Mr. Shannon. I appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you tomorrow. You are dismissed.
Yeah. Escucha. Mío en tu habitación, solo los 2 segundos que hay que detener. Porque si no siento tu voz o tu olor, te extraño y te quiero ver. Tanto me falta todas esas noches tan soñadas. Haces falta, bebé, dime que te tengo que hacer pa' tenerte de una vez? Pa' no poderte perder. Dulce, eres mi bombón. Te quiero melocotón. Por ti corro un maratón. Solo de la dirección. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. Pa' mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión. Somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Mira, somos perfectos, es algo indiscutible. Mi estilo y tu estilo no están disponibles. Solo soy sensible cuando te tengo porque eres irresistible. Tus labios combinan con tus ojos, porque eres tan pretty que hasta yo de eso miento. Chica, necesito mis anteojos. Quiero verte en noche hermosa de todos modos. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. A mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión. Somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada.
Gotta go again.
Can I have my iPad?
Let's try.